Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar on 5 practical strategies to address your invisible inflammation and take back your energy, moods, and digestion. Today we are going to go a little bit deeper into the inflammation and what is causing it. And I'm sure that you would be thinking a lot more about your body than you have been doing in the past. So what to expect from this talk? The number one thing that I want you to do is be totally focused for this 1 hour, because some of the things that are telling you may not just be simple for you, but it will take some time to get absorbed. If you think about it, they will make sense. And I just don't want you to be sitting there passively for 1 hour and do nothing after that 1 hour focus on health. So we are going to go over the top 3 root causes of inflammation in today's world and what I have done myself to address the inflammation in my body and started on a healing journey. This is particularly designed for people who are busy, and who are ready to take actions. So gear up, bring your attention back to the talk today, and let's dive deeper. Before I go about talking about inflammation, I'll just tell you briefly about myself. So I have struggled myself with hypothyroidism for about 10 years before I started my journey. Now I help women who are suffering from hypothyroidism or autoimmune health issues to take back their health and address the weight gain or the mood issues that they are having over time. If you are suffering from hypothyroidism, you know that these symptoms don't really always go without medication, but there are many things that we can do to support our health beyond medication, and that is something that we will cover in this talk today. So before being a health coach, I used to work in an oil and gas company for 11 years. And there I saw many of us, by the time we turn 40, have some kind of chronic label. So this issue is very, very common in the workplace. And that doesn't mean this is normal or it should be that way. So let's focus on our health today so that we can take care of it over time. And in my free time, just I wanted to tell you about some of my hobbies that I do like to cook, hike, run. Recently, I ran a triathlon, which I could never dream of about 5 years back. So I do believe that our belief is our own glass ceiling, and we apply that quite seriously at work. And it is time to apply it in your personal life, because once there is a synergy around these two goals, you are going to have benefit quite a bit from that. So before I move on, I do want you to pause here for a minute and send a message to me or talk to yourself about what is your health goal. And if you're a person who doesn't believe in goals, I would challenge you. I know that there is always a journey and there is always a practice. So think whatever you relate well, whether it's a goal or is it a journey or is it just a wish list. Think about what is your health goal and send a message to me. The more you are going to be connected with your goal, the better it is going to serve you. So don't take this lightly. Think about what is your health goal. Is it to feel your best of energy? Or is it to heal a label that you have? Or it's just to age gracefully? Or maybe reduce weight? So let's move on. If you want to pause the video, pause it, work a bit on this, and then share this with me. So are you feeling stuck with your daily medication? So we are talking about inflammation today, right? So one of the early signs of inflammation is something you feel wrong with your body. There may not be a label associated with you. When there is a label, by the time things are already too late. So especially when you are having trouble losing weight, or your body is not able to control its heart rate or blood pressure or your sugar, or you are always feeling fatigued, with or without label. That are some of the early signs of inflammation. And some of the very early signs of inflammation could be, especially for women, it could be missing your periods or something wrong with your cycles. You may have some skin rashes, or you may have upset stomach very often. You may fall sick very often. You may have allergies. You may also feel a little bit off. You may feel difficulty breathing. It comes in from all directions, actually. So anything that you feel sustainably wrong for a long time without any reasonable label or diagnosis from the doctor is telling you that your body is inflamed. In fact, oftentimes it means more frequent ergonomic issues that you may be facing. Maybe your back is hurting, there are pain and aches. You particularly find difficult to recover after a heavy workout. So chronic inflammation plays a big role in your metabolic health and hormonal health. And unless you address your chronic inflammation, you are not going to be able to address your health numbers and your waistline. We're going to dig deeper into it. What is it? What is causing inflammation, and what exactly I mean by inflammation too. So what causes inflammation? Before this, I want you to take a pause and think about, the last time you got hurt. Maybe you got a paper cut in your finger. What you may see that there is a rush of blood coming in that spot. You may have a tiny bit swelling, and your body, you may have a sustained pain, and anytime you put some pressure in that finger, that causes some irritation, which tells your mind that thou should not do it. In fact, that's your body telling you not to do that. So this is an acute inflammation. So when you have acute inflammation, you will have a little more blood rushing to that inflammation site, prepping your body to fight any possible infection that may come in through that site. So that's why you have the blood rushing through it. It does get clogged, but your white blood cells kind of form like an army. They form a line there to basically ward off anything that potentially dangerous comes into it. Now, in terms of chronic inflammation, similar thing is happening inside your body, but it is happening all over your body, maybe particularly organ, and that is not doesn't go away in a week or two. It is sustaining for a longer time. And that differentiate your chronic inflammation from your acute inflammation. In fact, chronic inflammation is one of the root causes of most of the chronic illnesses that you see. So if you have a high blood pressure, you will have likely inflammation in your arteries, or maybe some sites in your heart. And if you're having, for example, hypothyroidism, you may have inflammation in your thyroid gland. When you have diabetes, you may have it in your pancreas, and you may have insulin sensitivities. All these are the signs of inflammation. So I do want to figure out what your current health understanding is. So I do want to launch a poll here, and I think we just want to launch the second poll. So do you know these concepts like leaky gut? Do you know anything about food sensitivities? And what does healthy diet mean for you? If these are the concepts that you have heard for the first time, don't worry, I'm going to explain a bit about them. But one of the bigger thing that I want you to think about during this time, what is a healthy diet in your mind? Is it eating organically, vegetarian, vegan friendly foods? Or is it eating, following a keto or a fat diet? Maybe what your grandparents eat in olden days? Or is it eating local and seasonal foods? And maybe you don't believe in any diets. You just want to, not think about your food. And it shows, and you just want to eat when you feel hungry and move on with your daily activities. So just think about what it is, share with me in the comment below. What do you feel like a healthy diet for you? So pause the moment video for some time, share it in the comments what you think is healthy diet. Once you have done that, I want you to move on to the next slide, where I'm going to be talking about these food sensitivities. It's a very misunderstood concept. Whenever I ask any of my clients, do you know if you are sensitive to any food? They will be saying, no, I have never felt anything, any discomfort with the food. Now, I would challenge. So this client of mine, she was used to drinking a glass of milk every night since childhood before going to bed. Now, she's at present suffering from eczema, dryness, some kind of allergies, a lot of mucus in her sinuses. So when we figured out systematically, following a systematic process, if she was sensitive to any food, it turned out that the glass of milk that she was having every single day did not really go well with her body. She didn't show any signs, obvious signs, but once we removed that milk from her diet, her eczema improved quite a bit. And in fact, her allergies reduced significantly in number. So that's what food sensitivities look like. So they may not have an obvious connection because she never really had any digestive discomfort after drinking milk or anything that she thought that this food may not work. But oftentimes the foods that we eat on an everyday basis, we are sensitive to them and they impact our overall metabolism, immunity, and energy. So when we are having these food sensitivities, and this is mostly because you are sensitive to the protein in the food, when we eliminate these hidden allergies, you will, unless you do that, you can never address your health holistically. So this is exactly what we do in our program at my 12-week program, Heal Your Thyroid and Take Care of Symptoms. We start with our gut health, understanding food sensitivities. And this cartoon here on the side, on the right, is showing what is happening. These green particles are the food particles that are, in fact, getting into our bloodstreams, and our body reacts to it. Our immune system reacts to it by attacking it, and often either it leads to inflammation in our body or it leads to some kind of diagnosis, particularly autoimmune issues that you may see building over years. The second reason for you to experience inflammation systemically in your body is the presence of toxins. So a friend of mine, when we were talking about these toxins, so we were talking about some of these things, how they impact their health. So when she was, she disclosed that her husband, he switched to a new toilet bowl cleaner, which was bleach in it. And that was an automatic cleaner, which you install on the toilet. And ever since she got it installed, or they installed it, my friend was having low energies and she was feeling fatigued. And I discussed about some of these concepts with her. And when she, surely once she removed that automatically toilet bowl cleaner, her energy level returned. So this was just within a few days of getting exposure to the toxins that her body was reacting to it. And oftentimes through our lifestyle and our choices, we are not so much clear about what is causing and what we are getting exposed to on an everyday basis, especially when we don't have choice of putting it in. I mean, this was very clear because you put this toilet bowl cleaner, you know that this probably is not working. But think about the air that you're breathing, the water that you're drinking, and even the chemicals on in your daily products that are a big estrogen disruptor that affects our hormones and whatnot. So oftentimes these are leading to inflammation in our body because our bodies are not able to get rid of it on an everyday basis. Not going to go over there, but it has to do with our biochemistry, the right enzymes turning on and off, our genes, and many times we are compromised in doing so. But the bottom line is when your toxins build up in your body, we become obese, sick, and fat. The third thing is not to be, I would say, undermined. This is chronic stress. And I'll tell you a funny story. So one of my friends, she has two small kids, 5 years old and 1 year old. And one day she turns up to work wearing two different kinds of boot. Now, she sent this photo on a WhatsApp, and we all laughed at what the things that she was undergoing through. But I could totally relate to it. Oftentimes, as women, you take self-care as your last priority. And what happens is that when you are in this overwhelmed state of doing, and meeting lots of deadlines, you are ignoring, and this is what feeding the inflammation that is underlying in your body. And oftentimes stress doesn't cause the inflammation, but it is like a wildfire, or it's a fire, or it's like an air in the wildfire case which feeds to it. So yes, your genetic does load your gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. We can get rid of stress every day in our life, but if we have a stress management strategy or practices on an everyday life, that can help us do wonders. So I want you to pause here and think about how is your inflammation manifesting in your own life, and how is it impacting your life. Perhaps you were able to do a lot more things 10 years back than what you can do today. And oftentimes we do plan for our retirement. Yes, you may be investing in your 401k plan, and then we pay for our health insurance. But oftentimes, because we are so much engrossed in our daily habits, rituals, and practices, that we stop thinking about our daily choices. How is it impacting our inflammation under your body, which seems to be hidden? And that is something that I'm going to go over today. And think about the benefit you may get in terms of aging and also addressing your issues once you understand these choices on an everyday basis. So taking care of inflammation is easy. It's just that you need to have an open mind and practice or your habits towards it. So here is a daily choice poll, which I am going to launch. Spend some time thinking about what is your exercise preference. Do you do cardio? Do you do yoga or Pilates? Or you simply love walking? Are you active, or you often struggle with it? Do you sleep every day? What kind of stress management you have on an everyday basis? Do you have a meditation practice or a self-care routine? And what is your favorite weight management strategy? Do you rely a lot on fasting or fat diets? You totally believe or swear by ketos results, and you or maybe you think that none of these things work for me. Okay. Think about all these things and send a comment on what has been your favorite, what works for you, and what doesn't. Okay, so now I'm going to go over one by one on our daily choices that can act as inflammatory or anti-inflammatory. So let's just dive deeper. Exercising. That's the number one thing that we often think about as a part of healthy routine. But more often than not, if you are not in a right state of mind and your body is not ready, it can become pro-inflammatory choice very soon. Especially this is when you are overdoing cardio and not giving your body enough time to rest. I had ran a marathon about 10 years back. And during that marathon, I in fact gained 10 pounds. Many of the things that I was doing during at that time was not good for my body, which I would learn later. But again, was exercising very extensively, but I was not able to get rid of my inflammation and also my weight at that time. So what is a right way of doing exercise? We need to be smart about it. Of course, we want to do exercise that promote movements, inflammation, and release toxins. I love my cardio. Believe me, that is something that really fuels me. By my run, the type of energy that I get, I can't really say that, yoga gives me that energy. But you need to realize that these things are complementary. Just because you are a cardio freak doesn't mean that you should stop investing in this exercise that build your body and also help you safely release the toxins. So definitely a pro choice here is in terms of your inflammation. Then number two, was really weird that last year when all my clients, when they came to me, they were feeling a lot more less energy or lot less energy. And they're complaining about, I always feel sleepy. And when I ask them what is the amount of sleep that they're getting on an everyday basis, they would say maybe 6 or 7 hours or less. Now, oftentimes our bodies, when we are inflamed, they need more amount of sleep. When I say more, I mean it could be more than 9 hours. So sleeping less is not helping us. And in fact, that would mean that our body is not doing its, everyday bookkeeping. And it increases our stress level, especially cortisol level, which in turn is linked with increasing your insulin levels, which is our fat storage hormone. So oftentimes sleeping less means also you will gain weight and also having issues with the metabolism. That is more prone to insulin sensitivities as well, or insulin insensitivities. So yes, you need to be sleeping more if you want your body or want to give your body a fair chance to remove toxins and repair the damage. This is also key to losing your weight and also keeping your metabolism under control. Now, if you are a person who likes to follow fad diets, I would really challenge you to think about your relationship with the food. Oftentimes, when you are swinging your diet too much, it will lead to fatigue failure in your body. And that's a very highly pro-inflammatory choices. And oftentimes, many of these fad diets kind of overdo one ingredient or the other. And that can be an issue, especially if you are sensitive to. So I'll give you an example of keto diet. So if you are a keto diet and follow vegetarian as well, you can totally rely a lot on cheese as your protein intake or yogurt. Both of these can be a bad news to your body if you are sensitive to milk, because typically our body is sensitive to the protein of the milk. So again, use your brains when you're following any diet. But necessarily, if you feel starved or doing calories control or quantity control, if you're feeling starved or feeling hungry all the time, that is not going to help with your inflammation. In fact, that will make your inflammation go up more, because you perceive your body perceives yourself to be under chronic stress. So simply reducing your calorie is not going to help here, and especially with the inflammation. So when you want to take care of your body from the food perspective, you want to eat a lot of variety, and you want to be nourishing at a cellular level. That can help you also release your toxins. And rituals like intermittent fasting, I don't particularly want to name intermittent fasting, but certain level of fasting based on your needs can be a good. So if you're suffering from autoimmune issue, the fasting can go against you as well, if you don't do it just blindly without understanding its impact on your body. But this is one of the natural way of detoxifying. And when you eat a lot of leafy greens and a lot of high energy food, that naturally helps you release toxins. And especially when you give your body a focused time to detox, you will see a lot more impact in your weight and other things. Oftentimes, a snacking pitfall. So this is something that I want you to think about how much food you are eating. Now, if you follow Ayurveda, you may have heard this thing is when you are, so if you eat 3 times, you, or rather 1 time, if you are a yogi, okay, you are like a sage. If you eat 2 times, you are a bhogi, which means you like to indulge. But when you are eating 3 times or more, you are a rogi, which means you are sick. And I do believe in it a lot, because oftentimes in these current times, we are eating a lot of food which is under nutritious, and just by the sheer volume that our body has to process without getting the enough micronutrients, you are likely to fall prey to the inflammation in your body. So oftentimes snacks are also, the way snacks impact us is that they raise our insulin level, and our fat storage is a function of your insulin. So if you're going to produce on an average higher insulin level, that means you're going to store more fat in your body. Oftentimes, snacking also means lots of grains, processed grain in your food, which can work against repairing your body cells. So definitely pay attention to what you are eating. Oftentimes, intuitive eating works better, and especially when you are including a lot of fresh high prana food. So if you are feeling hungry, go for a carrot, cucumber. These are live food. But if you go towards dead food, you are likely to gain weight and also increase your inflammation in the body. Also, this also means that you will be also stabilizing your blood sugar when you're eating high fiber, protein rich food, which are fresh. The number 5th thing is, this is, I would say, doesn't really come very obvious to many of us, but all these type A high performing personalities can be really judgmental. Now, I'm not stereotyping. There are many people, especially those who are perfectionist or recovering perfectionists, we are also judgmental in our choices, but you are what you think and how you behave inwardly and outwardly. So all these hormones, the negative emotions, are associated with negative biochemistry in our body, which means a lot of oxidative stress, lots of breakdown of free radicals or flowing of free radicals. So a lot of hormone imbalances, and everything is causing inflammation in our body. So pay attention to your choices, how you feel, be kind to yourself. That is going to definitely be helping you with the inflammation in your cells. Will also help you create the balance of hormone that you need. You will naturally feel happy, more energized, and will be ready to take on the world and meet it at what, the level that they want you to. I wouldn't say they want you to, maybe you want, or set the boundaries that you set for yourself. Now, this is this anti-inflammatory roadmap that I would like to share with you. And we talked about these pro-inflammatory choices on an everyday basis, but how does that impact your health and what you can do? So in my program, I work with my clients to identify and reduce this pro-inflammatory choices. We also improve anti-inflammatory choices for them. This is a process that oftentimes goes simultaneously. And once we identify those and also add really good nourishing food to the diet and figure out what small daily habits that they need a break from, we implement these sustainable choices, which gives them the solutions that they're looking for, especially in terms of improving health, healing, and energy, moods, or addressing the hypothyroidism or autoimmunity symptoms in their body. So this week, I want you to challenge you. So if you have watched so far, you know that I would love for you to talk to you. So come and set up an appointment on my calendar through yourcompletewellbeing.com. And I would love to talk to you about your individual strategy about how you feel or how you need to do inflammation in your body. I have done this for many clients, and this you can do yourself, this 3-step process, but it is always a good idea to have an accountability partner or somebody who understands these concepts. Work with your doctor, with somebody that can help you do the testing, or if you are a person who likes to go by the numbers, or somebody who has already experienced that. Oftentimes, one change in your area of life, maybe it your food or health, can impact quite a bit in other areas of life. So oftentimes that would mean higher work productivity, better career, meeting better career needs, and generally feeling confident in your own ability to be able to address whatever comes your way. So I just want you to imagine being in this space where you know you own what comes to you. You have a choice, right? What you are trying to put it in your mouth, what you are choosing on your everyday basis, and what kind of energy boost it will be able to give you on a long run. Just imagine reaching the height of your career, the height of your health or fitness level that you can imagine for yourself, and just be there. You just didn't come there all of a sudden. To go there, you want to take one small step a day, a time. Very much easy if you just commit 10 days, 10 minutes a day for your health today. So you watch this presentation and let me know what is your aha moment. I would love to hear any aha moments that you have, what you liked and what you don't. Share it with me. You have my email. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. For more information, you can visit yourcompletewellbeing.com. I would love to hear your aha moment and love to hear back if you need some extra support in meeting your health goals. Thank you for watching or being here.